Ubisoft is definitely in crisis. This is the latest development. So, the departure of Cameron Lee from Ubisoft and the Rainbow Six franchise is a significant loss to the company, obviously. With over 20 years of experience in the gaming industry, Lee brought a wealth of knowledge and experience to the role. And I'll just discuss this a little bit. And after it, there's a long kind of like audio overview of Ubisoft in crisis, and it's actually done by Google's Notebook LM if you want to listen to that. So the reasons for Lee departing Ubisoft are at this particular moment unclear, and this is purely speculation. So keep that in mind. So there might have been a creative difference. Lee may have disagreed with Ubisoft's vision of the future and the Rainbow Six franchise. Maybe personal reasons, could be, family or health, or maybe other career opportunities. Maybe a company approached him, or maybe he approached another company. But for whatever reason that he is leaving, he is departing Ubisoft. And this is another blow, in my opinion, to the company, and it does not look good. Anyway, so here is that quote-unquote podcast that was created by Google's Notebook LM. Enjoy.
All right, so you guys know I love diving deep into these gaming controversies. And we got a request to dig into this whole Ubisoft thing, and specifically what it might mean for the Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora DLC, Secrets of the Spires. I mean, is it even going to come out?
Yeah, there's some understandable concern there.
Yeah, so Avatar Theory on YouTube did a whole deep dive video essay on this. And he kicks things off with this crazy stat about Ubisoft. Their stock price is down 62% in the past year. 62%. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's not just a dip in the market. That's investors literally saying we don't have confidence in this company's future. A vote of no confidence with their wallets, basically.
Oof. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one bad game or anything.
Yeah.
It sounds like a whole bunch of stuff is going wrong.
Right. It's like this chain reaction. First, you have them pulling out of the Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, citing various circumstances.
Yeah.
Which is always code for something's really messed up.
Super shady. And then right after that, they dropped the bomb that Assassin's Creed Mirage is delayed.
2 months before release.
Which is unheard of.
Pretty much, unless the game is completely belaying a flagship title like that so close to launch, that's a sign of some serious internal problems.
And to make matters worse, Star Wars Outlaws. The game they spent a fortune marketing, it totally bombed.
Didn't meet sales expectations, nope. And the cherry on top, Ubisoft's board launched an internal investigation.
Oh, wow. So even they're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Exactly.
So we've got skipped events, delayed games, disappointing sales, and now an official investigation. It's like all the warning signs before a company implodes.
Yeah, it's not a pretty picture.
Not at all.
And it definitely has gamers worried, especially folks looking forward to that Avatar DLC.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, right? Is Secrets of the Spires even going to come out? So how does all this Ubisoft drama affect the Avatar DLC Secrets of the Spires? I mean, that's what people really want to know, right?
Right. Is it still coming out in fall 2024 like they promised? Honestly, it's hard to say for sure.
Avatar Theory pointed out that Ubisoft's been weirdly quiet about it lately. Like, no updates, no trailers, no nothing.
Yeah, and that silence can be deafening. Especially when you look at how they've handled other releases recently.
You mean like with Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah.
They were super vocal about that DLC coming in November.
Yeah.
So why the radio silence on Avatar?
Well, each game has its own marketing rhythm, right? Just because they're shouting about one doesn't mean they're hiding something about the other.
True. But it's hard not to be a little suspicious.
It is, but remember how they announced that Skybreaker DLC for Avatar? It was like a month before it dropped.
Oh yeah, that's right. They totally surprised everyone with that one.
So there's still hope. Maybe they're planning a similar surprise drop for Secrets of the Spires?
Imagine they just drop it out of nowhere. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Right, it's not unheard of. Sometimes they hold back info to build up hype.
Okay, so maybe we don't need to panic just yet.
Right.
But Avatar Theory also threw out another possibility. What if Ubisoft is completely changing how they approach DLC altogether?
Yeah, he thinks the Season Pass model might be on its way out.
Okay, so explain that to me. What's the big deal about Season Passes anyway?
Well, traditionally, season passes meant you got a bunch of little DLC packs throughout the year, like some extra cosmetics, maybe a few side missions, that kind of thing.
Right.
But with Mirage, they're ditching that model completely.
No more season pass. So how are they going to release extra content then?
They're going for the good old-fashioned expansion pack model.
Like the huge expansions games used to have.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, that's a blast from the past.
Well, I know, right?
But like, what does it actually mean?
It means instead of getting a bunch of small content drops, you get fewer but much larger expansions. Think new storylines, new maps, new gameplay mechanics, the whole shebang.
So instead of Secrets of the Spires being a little side thing, it can be this massive game changer.
Potentially. Remember how Avatar Theory was hoping for a big expansion to tie in with Avatar 3?
Oh.
Maybe that's what Ubisoft's cooking up.
Now that would be epic.
It would, but it's all just speculation at this point.
Yeah, true. But it's fun to think about. So basically, we have no idea what's going on.
Pretty much.
Should we be worried or excited?
I'd say cautiously optimistic. A delay might mean they're working on something truly special.
Fingers crossed. And if this is the start of a whole new DLC strategy for Ubisoft, that could change the game for everyone.
Absolutely.
We'll have to wait and see. So we're talking about maybe a whole new DLC strategy for Ubisoft. But what does that even look like in practice? Like, how would this new model actually work?
Well, for one thing, it could mean we see fewer but much larger expansions for games.
Okay, so instead of getting like a new skin or a couple of missions every few months, we get something much bigger, less often.
Exactly. Think more along the lines of those old school expansion packs. The ones that added hours of gameplay and completely new storylines.
Yeah, like a whole new world to explore.
Exactly. So instead of just adding to the existing game, these expansions would really build upon the foundation and create something that feels fresh and exciting.
So for Avatar fans, this could mean that Secrets of the Spires, instead of being a small DLC pack, it becomes this huge expansion.
Right, and if they're really thinking long-term, maybe they're planning something massive to coincide with Avatar 3.
Oh man, now that would get me hyped.
Right. Imagine diving into a whole new region of Pandora, inspired by the new movie. New creatures, new characters, new everything.
Okay, now you're just teasing me.
Yeah.
But seriously, that's a pretty exciting prospect.
It is, isn't it?
So where does that leave us? Should we be worried about the Avatar DLC being delayed? Or excited for what they might be cooking up?
I'd say a healthy dose of both is warranted.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I think this whole situation with Ubisoft, it's kind of a toss-up right now. There's definitely cause for concern. But there's also potential for something really interesting to emerge from all of this.
So we just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Exactly. And in the meantime, we can always speculate wildly.
Always my favorite thing to do. Well, there you have it, folks. The curious case of Ubisoft and what it might mean for the future of Avatar.